So just hold on while we get the proceedings on course. We have some things we need to do first before going in.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Let me just take 2 minutes. Let me take 2 minutes to just tidy up one or two things.
Okay, yeah, you can have the. I think before we get to you, probably need about 5-10 minutes time. Good morning, everyone.
That's fine, sir.
You are welcome once again to Amuwo's monthly webinar. We wouldn't want to waste much of our time since we know it's a busy weekend for everyone. We just want to keep this within the 2 hours wrap. While our facilitators are on ground and setting things up, we just want to welcome you and declare the webinar open. Chairman, over to you to declare the webinar open and let's set things in motion.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I hereby declare this webinar open.
Okay, thanks, Chairman. You have the anthems ready?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead with the national anthem. Okay, Chairman, can we have the ICAN anthem?
Yes, Lord, the fount of treasure, in triumph, the crown of praise, standing stronger in glory, building a land together. Streets of a mountain, we are striving to attain. Truth and value that we share. Through all ages, we sustain. In these years of total content, from Nigeria. No like it, no like it, no mercy we embrace. We all your knees and free.
Thank you, Chairman, for the technical assistance regarding the anthem. Our opening prayer for today's session will be done using the second stanza of the national anthem. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know. Thank you, everyone. While we are done with all the introductory session, I want to officially welcome you into today's webinar, which had been tagged as the theme of today's webinar is digital transformation, the role of professional accountants in an emerging business. And we have lined up powerful speakers, who knows their onions. We have two resource persons that will be presenting to us today. The first presenter in the person of Mr. Peter Adebayo is going to come in with the role of the accountant in fintech. We are going to have that session for about 45 minutes. After that 45 minutes, we will have the second paper presenter, which is tagged data analytics and the accounting profession. That will be delivered by Mrs. Adebola Odeyemi. I'm sure by the time we hear from the two speakers, we are going to more or less like be digitally better informed, and we'll see how the accountant is transforming the business environment using their digital tools. After the second principal presentation, that's when we will have the question and answer. So there won't be question and answer during the course of the presentation. Each presenter is going to have for their 45 full minutes. But after that, we are going to have 30 minutes to attend to questions and other things that we might require. We don't intend to take much of our time. The time is 10:11 as we speak now. Before we get on to the first speaker, can we have the welcome address from the chairman of the district?
Thank you very much, the moderator, Mr. Latishi. Once again, good morning, everyone present here on this call. Our esteemed speakers, our fellow professionals that are on this call. I am Ruth Igwe, the chairman of ICAN Amuwo and District Society. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to today's webinar on digital transformation, the role of professional accountants in emerging business. Firstly, I would like to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to join us today. Your presence is a testament that the topic today is very important and extremely relevant. As accountants, we play a vital role in driving business growth and sustainability. The emergence of digital technologies has transformed the way we work, and it is crucial that we stay adaptable and informed to remain relevant. Today's webinar is designed to provide insights into the transformative power of data analytics and the critical role accountants play in the fintech landscape. Our distinguished speakers have prepared thought-provoking presentations to share their expertise and experiences with us. I would like to extend a special welcome to our speakers, Adebola A. Adeyemi, FCA, and Peter Adebayo, FCA, who are already on this call. Your contributions to this webinar are invaluable, and we look forward to learning from your expertise. To our participants, I encourage you to actively engage in the discussions and ask questions. Your participation is what makes the webinars like this successful. Once again, thank you all for joining us today. Let us work together to harness the power of digital transformation and take our profession to new heights. Now, without further ado, let us begin the presentation. Over to you, Mr. Latishe, our moderator. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our district chairman, for that welcome address. I'm sure our webinar participants, at least from what we have on ground now, we are close to about 40. And from the registration point of view, I think we are about close to 100 that registered for today's webinar. I'm sure others will join us, and in order not to waste much of our time and to keep to time, I have the honor of presenting the first speaker for today's webinar in the person of Mr. Peter Adebayo. Before he commences his presentation, let me do him the honors of introducing him to us. Mr. Peter is a seasoned professional accountant, the tax and management consultant, and holds a degree in accounting from University of Lagos, and equally has an MBA degree with specialization in financial management from Lagos State University. He's a fellow of ICAN, of Certified Professional Forensic Accountant of Canada, a member of CITN, China Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, member of Nigerian Institute of Management, Institute of Management, and alumnus of Lagos Business School. He's equally a registered professional member of Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria. He has close to 3 decades experience that cut across corporate and professional practice, which he has obtained, from various sectors of the economy. His professional interests includes accounting, assurance, tax management, management consulting, and equally a good public speaker and facilitator. He's currently the managing partner of Peter Adebayo and Co. Chartered Accountants, and the CEO of 2612 Consulting and Professional Services. Is cosmopolitan with diverse, robust, and rich training exposure. And his training and empowerment program are taken across Nigeria, South Africa, and United States of America. He features in the various business segments of TVC, where he provides his expert opinion and contribution on business matters and contemporary economic issues. He's equally an active member of Ikeja District Society and immediate past technical secretary of the same district society. I'm sure we will enjoy his presentation, which he has tagged the evolving role of accountants in fintech. I present to you Mr. Peter Adebayo. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, our moderator. I hope I can be heard clearly and very audibly. I want to sincerely appreciate the executive committee members of this great district society, Amuwo Odofin and District Society. I want to salute our able chairman. I want to appreciate the executive members, the generality of the members of Amuwo Odofin District Society of ICAN. We are partners in progress, and it's a privilege for me to be here this morning with my colleague, Mrs. Adebola Odeyemi, to speak on this digital transformation webinar. The topic before me is the evolving role of the accountant in fintech. Just like as has been announced, we will take this session. The MCs of them will take our session. The questions can be taken together, at the end of the whole thing, so that we can manage our time more effectively. So, it is expected that at the end of this session, we'll be able to understand the concept of financial technology, which is not new to all of us. How the knowledge and application of fintech can enhance our efficiency and effectiveness as accountants in the course of performing our roles. We are going to be gaining some impact of fintech on accounting profession, how to adapt our skills towards future development and career success as professionals, whether in practice or outside the practice. The evolving fintech landscape, the impact on accounting profession. We are going to be gaining experiences through the changing role of accountants in this digital age, the digital world. Of course, the essential skills needed to succeed in this fintech environment. And we'll consider the vast opportunities for accountants within this fintech industry. So it is expected that we'll be gaining those experiences in the course of this discussion. Right. So I want to say welcome to the evolution of a fintech, the evolving role, unlocking opportunities in this digital age. I will begin by letting you know that fintech is an intersection of finance and technology. So we'll be exploring how this concept is transforming this noble profession of accountancy and the various dimensions of opportunities for accountants like you and I. And of course, getting ready to dive into the future of finance with the technology. Now, I want to welcome you to the fintech revolution. You can see the objects that I have here. For those of us who are relatively younger in age, we will be wondering, what are some of these things for? The very first one here is diskette. You know, there was a time ago, long time ago, where the very major source of storage available to us was diskette. You know, you have a floppy diskette, all manner of descriptions that we have for diskette. We have to slot it in, you know, and we have to save our stuff there. I mean, if you look through this, you are going to see this very good, very big box. I remember in my career, the very first computer that I had access to in my days going accountancy profession, where I was working then, was a computer called Gateway 2000. Gateway 2000 then was a very brilliant innovation. So having access to that box before me was additional incentive for me to perform and discharge my duties. And today, I mean, nobody's talking about Gateway 2000. That box has been replaced with quite a number of things. If you come down here, you look at these ledgers. I don't know whether there are quite a number of us who will ever remember what used to be known as Kalamazoo. I remember when we were going to, you know, I joined a place and we needed to set up an accounting system. And I remember going to Apapa where there was a Kalamazoo business system, something. So that Kalamazoo was a very large bundle of ledger records that we had to, you know, use for, you know, updating our financial system. It carried a very big ledger like this. You have to open from, you know, you have to open page 1, page 2. You do it manually. You balance your account manually. Those were the days, you know, when there was nothing like technology, so to speak, or the technology was very limited in scope. So each time we had to balance our accounts, then we had to pick our calculator, Casio calculator, Toshiba calculator. You have, with the ruler there, you have to machine. God's helping you. There is no difference. You have to start tracing it all over the place. So those were days, you know, when fintech had not become this prominent and very paramount, right? All right. But today, you could see, you know, everybody now is carrying a smartphone. We're all carrying a laptop of different dimensions, of different specifications and configurations. You will see somebody carrying an iPhone 15, iPhone 16. I don't even know which is the latest now, whether we have iPhone 30 or 40 now. All right, you have people having smartphones. I remember in my career, the very first time I had access to an iPad, I was like a lord, you know, in my place of work. I traveled to the US and I came back with an iPad. I was like, come go and see Peter. Peter is now using an iPad. I was like a lord. But, you know, today, you know, technology has made all of these things almost something very essential for an average professional, if it was very relevant in your profession. So that is the background. So the question now is, what is fintech? What is fintech? Fintech is a marriage of two concepts. We are financial gurus, we are accountants, professionals. It's a marriage that nobody can divorce any longer. It's a marriage between finance and technology. And that is what we know, that's what is referred to today as fintech. All right? So it's used to describe this new technology. Well, relatively, if you want to say new, fine. But right now, it's no more, so to speak, a new technology. But it's a new technology that seeks to improve delivery of services, financial services. It's a technology that seeks to improve automation of financial services. So when you look at it as it were, it is utilized to assist organizations, to help companies, to help business owners, to help consumers, manage their financial activities, manage their financial operations, look at the financial processes, and ask ourselves, how can we enhance efficiency of financial processes? Of course, as accountants, our roles. On a monthly basis, there's need for us to generate financial reports. There's need for us to do this. There's need for us to do that. Budgetary management and stuff like that. So there's need for use of technology to enhance our efficiency in all these dimensions. So it is something that is a combination of a specialized software and algorithms that are used on computer systems and all these smartphones that we're carrying. Right. So it encompasses a very wide range of innovations, solutions that are changing the way and manner the financial services are delivered, the financial services are rendered across different platforms. So it includes, among so many other things, digital payments, online payments, of course. I mean, the moderator has just mentioned that people have registered. That has been made possible by the power of financial technology. I remember, years back, each time you have to make payment, you first of all go to the bank and pick your stuff like that and write your teller and do a manner of things. But financial technology has, taken all that beyond the laborious efforts we used to have in those days. Online platforms, lending platforms. These days now there are technologies that provide opportunities for you to even secure loan facilities online. I remember in those days, when we used to go to the bank, you go there and they'll collect what we call tally number. So they'll be calling your number, tally number 1. God help you. If you have space for 1 hour, 2 hours, and you quickly have to go somewhere to go and use yourself. And they'll call your number. Before you come back, somebody else has taken your number. So these are issues that we contended with in those days, financial technology era. So automated wealth management tools, crowdfunding, robo advisory apps, insurance technologies, and a lot much more. So fintech continues to evolve, and it will actually continue to evolve. And it will continue to disrupt traditional financial services. All of us were familiar with what we call technology disruption. Yes. In those days, we used to carry camera, Kodak camera. You have to go and watch the film before you can produce photography. But now, smartphones, on your smartphone, you can take photograph, of any dimension of different quality, to suit your expectation. So it's a very exciting time for us as professionals to be a part of this fintech age and the fintech revolution. Right. So now, who are professionals in fintech? They are people who have decided to specialize, right, in financial technology, and they use their acquired knowledge for development of ways that will make financial transactions seamless, that will make financial transactions efficient, that will make the processes more effective. And of course, they are not limited. Financial professionals can work in different settings. They can work in the banking sector, financial sector, manufacturing sector, all dimensions of sectors, accounting firms, startups. As a matter of fact, when you look at fintech industry today, I'm not sure I will be wrong. If I tell you maybe an average of around 40% of people who are in fintech today, they are people with accounting background because they have opportunities that are inherent there, and they take cognizance and they take advantage of it. I'm not advertising here. I like to use our very senior professional father in this profession as an example. The popular AJ Silicon. He's an accountant by training, but you can see the value that he has added, the color he has added through his information technology network, that has enhanced efficiency and effectiveness in the lives of accountants across the business space. So that's somebody who has distinguished himself in that area. So a financial accountant, of course, like we know we are professionals who are responsible for gathering and monitoring of our financial data on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. And we have to be involved in preparation of accurate financial statements. We get involved in forecasting, we get involved in revenue management, managing our tax payments, conducting of internal audits, ensuring compliance with the accounting regulations as much as possible. And of course, they need to support our company's financial decisions. So accountants are very key in strategic financial decisions of an organization. There's no organization that succeeds without strategic financial input. And this can only come from those of us who are professionals. So fintech, as it were, or financial technology, has come to transform the way accounting and financial professions work across the face of the globe. So consequently, financial management has been more efficient, highly more accurate, cost-effective, because fintech has been integrated into accountancy and, of course, into our financial operations. There are fintech companies all over the place. They use accounting automation to develop new products. They use it to develop new services that help their business to be very efficient in time, to save money, and to reduce risk or your exposure to risk. So the fintech we're talking about is used to describe the technology that seeks to improve and automate delivery and use of financial services, like I've mentioned it before. So it is used to complete transactions, for storage of data, for interaction with our customers. All right. So fintech jobs create ordinarily and refine the systems. In some roles, there are analysts who will use the data to evaluate product performance and also use that to establish the extent to which we are doing well in profitability or otherwise, which is the main reason why we're in business. All right. So, like I mentioned, it's a transformational tool for accounting processes. We do this by automating our task, providing real-time financial analysis, and of course, ensuring the security of our data, most importantly, our financial data. Of course, we will agree with you that fintech has brought about revolutionization of the way accountants work and the way businesses handle their finances. All right, making it very, very efficient and accessible for every professional across this platform. Now, imagine a world where you can manage your finances from your phone. That's what we do now. Sometimes I sit down to ask myself, what if phone is not available? I doubt what will happen on the surface of the web. There was a time we lived without phone. But now, I'm not sure anybody can do anything without phone now. Look at Google. Google alone now is enough to hold the whole world to ransom. If Google decides not to allow you to Google for just 10 minutes or 1 hour, you know what that means. It's going to be monumental loss across the business space. Look at Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg is enough to hold the whole world to ransom. All right? So these are powers of technologies that have been brought about by innovations from different people across the space. So that's the power of fintech. It's all about leveraging technology to streamline our processes instead of going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 system processes. Technology can now streamline into 3 efficient processes, making it faster, making it more efficient, and of course, making it very, very accessible to everyone. Right? So the big question now is, why does it matter? Why do we talk about fintech? What is the essence of fintech? All right? Fintech is disrupting traditional financial institutions. We all have heard about disruptive technology. Disruptive technology is what makes Gateway 2000 to become irrelevant and a laptop came in. That is disruptive technology. It is what makes our tally number to be useless. And today, on the phone, on your smartphone, you can do any financial transaction all over the world. Consumers now, customers, they need faster service. They need more convenient atmosphere to transact business with you. So businesses generally are seeking very innovative solutions to manage their financial operations. The world of finance is no more dominated by the slow-moving banks and complex paperwork that we used to experience in those days. In my career, sometimes ago, I would sleep overnight in the office trying to post ledger. But right now, fintech has made life easier for everybody. All right? You can even migrate from one version to the other. So if the version you are having now is getting outdated, there is room for you to do what? To update. It's the same way as accountants who must update assets on a regular basis. So fintech has come to challenge the status quo. It has come to offer much faster, more user-friendly experience, both for businesses and the customers at large. Now, let's just think about it. How many of us still rely solely on traditional brick and mortar banks these days? Even though if you go to some of the banks now, sometimes their systems do collapse, maybe because they are due to upgrade and they are not upgrading. Some of them don't anticipate the quantum of customers they are having. So the equipment they have is limited to particular capacity. So by the time they grow a clientele, a customer base, you will discover that there will be so much pressure on the equipment, and it's going to do what? It's going to break down. So part of what we need to understand in fintech is as you move up, in size of business, there is need for you to upgrade your technology in line with your growth in size, your growth in activities, and what have you. So fintech has come to cater for a new generation of financially savvy individuals like you and I, and businesses which require and yearn for more efficient financial services. Please, I hope we are still on the same page. I hope I'm ahead without any hitch. Thank you very much.
You are. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. All right, sir. So let me just move forward to the fintech landscape. That is taking us to a spectrum of innovation, which is powered by cutting-edge technology. Fintech encompasses a diverse range of solutions. Categories include the mobile wallet, like you and I have. Some banks, they have their products, different dimensions of product, mobile wallet, online payment gateways. Right now, in those days that we used to go to the hotel, with the advent of financial technology, you can be in the comfort of your home now and pay your subscription. You can be in the comfort of your home and pay for your practicing license. You can be in the comfort of your home and pay for your annual accountants conference. You can do all of this by power of fintech. All right. Okay, lending, like I mentioned, peer-to-peer lending platforms, alternative financing options, wealth management tools, robo-advisors that will advise you, automatic investment tools. All of these are available. So emerging technologies on a regular basis continue to fuel the revolution of fintech. I mean, many of us have heard about blockchain technology. That's a different discussion entirely. Maybe someday there will be opportunity for another one to be conducted basically on blockchain technology, which provides secure and transparent record keeping. We have heard about artificial intelligence, popularly known as AI. What does it do? It enables smarter financial decision making. AI is the thing now. A lot of professionals are frightened that now that artificial intelligence is there, accountants will lose their job. The answer is no. There is no accountant that will lose his job. The only accountant that will probably lose his job is the accountant that is not up to date, that is not updating or upgrading. Yes, artificial intelligence has come to stay. What you ordinarily would do as individuals, as a human being, is what artificial intelligence will do. All right, as an application package, as a fintech package. If you are going to take decisions as human beings with artificial intelligence now, you can take such decisions, and there will be no compromise of quality. Of quality in the output of the decision that is going to take. So that's the power of artificial intelligence. All right. Now, cloud computing, this offers scalable and cost-effective solutions. Yeah, you can be in the comfort of your home right now. We have a client. We have some clients that have the business space. There's a client in Lekki. They were using a version of QuickBooks, and they had a centralized server. Where their application was domiciled. And every day somebody comes around to go and open the server. Sometimes something will go wrong with that system and the server is down. And we had to be invited. So what we had to do was just to upgrade the version they were using. And that provided for cloud option. Now, Forex has risen up. I was scared at the time the Forex went up that I hope they are not going to say they won't be interested. Because they have seen the impact of remote working through the cloud option tool that is embedded in that software. So even though the thing has cost them more, but the qualitative advantage of sitting in the comfort of your home anywhere in the world, and you can still discharge your duties, as finance people, it's a good factor for them not to even recognize the fact that, look, this thing has risen. So cloud computing is another essential ingredient of fintech that professionals must also key into. So fintech is not just a one-size PZM solution is a vast ecosystem with something for all of us. Whether you need a convenient way to pay for your groceries, you want to buy something, or you want to invest your savings with the help of artificial intelligence, there is always a financial solution lying there out for you through Fintech. So here we're going to be exploring some of the major categories of Fintech. We'll be giving you a taste of technologies that are fundamentally changing the way we interact with banks. So these are some of the things we'll be talking about as we move ahead. Of course, like I mentioned, artificial intelligence helps us to make smarter investment decisions. It helps us to analyze vast amount of data that ordinarily will be very laborious if we are to do it with a human effort as individuals. Of course, cloud computing makes it possible for businesses of all dimensions, of all sizes, to access very highly sophisticated financial tools without hefty upfront investment. So that takes me to another dimension. Sorry. So how does Fintech change the accounting industry? How does it change the accounting industry? Sorry? Okay. How Fintech innovations are changing the accounting industry? Now, the financial services sector or the financial services industry is one of the most rapidly evolving sectors in our economy. And that's a fact, especially in places like Asia, and other nations of the world. Technology advancements such as mobile payments and the cloud-based accounting software, they more or less have radically transformed how businesses operate and how they interact with their customers. Of course, a cultural shift in accounting business has brought about a lot of technological changes. For accounting firms, for instance, the Ministry of the Business has been providing compliance and advisory services to customers, to clients. And this is calling for offering more innovative solutions, which of course will be shaking up the industry. Now, another question is, how is Fintech changing the financial market landscape? The financial market landscape is being positively impacted by evolution of financial technology. So Fintech described the wave of technological innovations that reshape the financial services landscape. I've mentioned this at different times. So from payments and lending to investments to insurance, Fintech has brought about a very significant impact on all aspects of the industry. Of course, the most significant disruption has come in cloud-based accounting and all these bookkeeping softwares that we embrace. Now, what are the essential aspects driving this technology change? Now, financial data flows at a much quicker rate than ever before, with a lot more power in the hands of our critical decision makers, enterprises, organizations, companies. They are positioned to make more responsive and better informed decisions due to increased access to data and due to automation of their processes. And of course, integration of software and the various tools. So therefore, continuous innovation in AI and machine learning can always showcase more critical information than manual analysis has provided for us. So, what's the influence of accounting technology on business decisions? faster access to data, insights, information. All these things have allowed businesses to make more informed decisions, very responsive decisions. And of course, in addition to all of this, automation of processes has also freed up some time. It has provided some leverage of time to focus on more important aspects of our businesses. So integration of software and tools has made it a bit easier for organizations and businesses to manage their financial operations and activities. Of course, with artificial intelligence, automation and cloud computing, taking over many of these traditional roles, time-consuming tasks of accountants, there is a significant potential for savings in terms of time and in terms of financial resources. So how is this changing the role of accountants and bookkeepers? Well, with the advent of technology, accountants, bookkeepers can now provide more value-added services. They can provide their financial advisory services. They can provide personal tax consulting services. They can provide investment advisory services, and of course, small business growth consulting services. So these are the various ways by which fintech innovations are changing the accounting landscape. Okay, so what's the impact? How has fintech transformed the accounting industry? Well, I mean, unprecedented data access to data. We cannot overemphasize this. Automation has come to level up the game. Automation on a regular basis. Automation subject to growth, subject to expansion, subject to the size of our activities, subject to the nature of the sector where we are operating. Then, what do I mean by this? There is need for automation to experience changes, update and upgrade in line with these changes. So productivity over reality equals better decision making. What do I mean by this? It provides a more proactive platform than for us to be reactive. So with the advent of fintech, of course, your efficiency level has risen up, and what that presupposes is that there are things that ordinarily you can foresee that look, you can achieve by the power of fintech, and your investment in fintech will provide for savings in this area. So it enhances your productivity, and it avoids reactivity. What do I mean by that? Allowing situations allowing problems to occur before you start addressing the problems. So that's what I mean by reactivity as productivity over reactivity. So modern accounting firms will always be willing to deliver maximum benefit to their clients, to their customers. All right? And they must embrace all these possibilities that technology has come to provide for them. So in this modern age, what this portends for accountants in this accounting profession is to see what new products, what new solutions that we can always provide. Nigeria is facing challenges. The global community is facing challenges. I've said this several times. For those who have eagle eyes, the time to start lamenting is not when there are crises. Well, when we have crises, it is a time for us to start reflecting. It is not a time to start looking at what the problem is. It's a time for us to start looking at what are the challenges inherent in these problem situations, whether we believe it or not. COVID came like a pandemic, all right, to devastate the whole world, to rattle the whole world. But those who had eagle eyes, they were able to take the best advantage. So that is where I believe professionals should sharpen their skills, all right, with the power of technology. What kind of technology has already made a difference in the accounting sector? How can fintech and accounting help firms to achieve their objectives and answer the dimension of needs of our various clients all over the place? All right. So I talked about blockchain, digital payments, cloud-based computing, cloud-based accounting, and automation. These are the various aspects that will arouse the interest of accountants. Okay, evolving accountant skill set. Now, given how fintech is helping us, how is helping our business to grow? All right. Proficiency becomes a value. Managing our finances, managing keeping our books, we will expect this one to strike fear amongst accountants everywhere. However, when you put a more positive spin on the matter, it is the opposite. The opposite is the case. So what am I saying? Both of us working in practice and those who are not in practice, who are in the industry, Fintech has come to absorb a lot of hazardous and Herculean tasks that we used to be saddled with. All right, replacing it with what? More deep diving strategic thinking, forecasting, and advising. So as accountants, now we have time and headspace to take a very analytical approach to our roles. We're perhaps evolving more in aspects that have to do with consultancy. I'm an accountant, for instance. I'm not restricted to accountancy. I get involved in accountancy, I get involved in audit, I get involved in quite a number of things, just because I need to put food on the table. So I must be very divergent. So these are some of the opportunities that the evolution has provided for those of us who are professionals. So Fintech is great news for businesses. And it doesn't have to mean bad news for accountants. So it's simply turning tradition into his head. So what we are saying is the traditional way we used to do things has become obsolete, has been displaced by technology. So we can afford to operate like that. We can afford to operate like we operated in the Stone Age. So we must embrace technology for the purpose of efficiency, for the purpose of more relevance in our fields. So if you are professionals and you are not, you are not equipping yourself with Fintech skills, you will not be positioned for opportunities. One thing I've also come to realize is opportunities move about like smoke, looking for those that will tap into those opportunities. And you know the beauty of all these opportunities? Opportunities are meant for those who are prepared for those opportunities. So if opportunities come your way at a point in time, and you are unable, and you are not prepared, or you are least prepared, at that point in time, opportunities are not waiting for you. They are not waiting for you to start preparing. The opportunity will just go in the direction of those who are prepared. So that's why it's essential for us to sharpen our skills on a regular basis. Even apart from technology, in this accounting stuff, you must be up to date in your field of endeavor. So that will help you to be relevant, acquire more skills, be loaded with the new technologies, be loaded with new innovations, be loaded with new updates that guide the operations of your industry. So Fintech is a very exciting tool that will always assist those on either side of the fence become more streamlined and highly efficient. That is provided it is well implemented. And that's the only way for it to transform both the profession that we are practicing and the services that we are rendering. Right. So, the traditional accounting skill set remains very valuable to all of us. So, new skills are demanded on a daily basis, on a high basis. People now are specializing in data analysis. Mrs. Adebola, other people will be talking on data analytics, after now. Some people now have decided to take interest. They have specialized in data analytics. They have become data analysts. Visualization, communication, collaboration. Of course, collaboration is an ingredient for success as as professionals. Basic programming. I have some colleagues now, all they specialize in this, they are programmers. So the fact remains that the core accounting principles you have mastered, that you have understood, all right, they are still very essential. They are still very crucial. But to thrive in this financial era, accountants must expand their skill set. You must develop ability to analyze more, to be able to interpret data more effectively, so that you can increase your relevance and your significance as a professional. So Fintech tools always generate a wealth of data, and as accountants, we need to make sense out of this so that we can identify trends and generate a lot more insight that will help us to be able to provide valuable recommendations. I mentioned to you that communication is very key. You must be able to communicate. You must be able to collaborate. They are key ingredients for survival, particularly in this rapidly evolving Fintech age or era. So accountants will always need to work very closely with teammates to ensure seamless integration of financial solutions and communicate effectively. What kind of communication? Complex financial situations to both technical and non-technical stakeholders, because they will need your input in the course of undertaking their various dimensions of decision making. So having a basic understanding of programming languages like Python, like SQL, can also be a valuable asset, helping accountants to automate some tasks and also extract data in a more efficient manner. All right. So let's talk briefly on building your cybersecurity shield. Technology is moving at a jet age. You want to agree with me that the same way criminality is moving at a jet age. If there's any time to be more circumspect about cybersecurity, it is now. There's need for security awareness in this digital age. Look at those guys who are Yahoo boys. I want to tell you, my professional colleagues, these guys are highly intelligent. They are highly intelligent. I only wish they can translate their intelligence in the positive dimension. Imagine a dollar cannot do what all those things are doing. So there's need for more security awareness in this digital age. Cybersecurity is paramount in financial technology. So as accountants, as professionals, we need to be more aware of cyber threats. So what are some of the best practices? Of course, strong passwords, multi-factor authentication. I know what the password management system. It is advisable that on a regular basis, we must change our passwords because you never can tell. We must be vigilant about phishing scams, our emails. We must be able to follow data security protocols because the digital world is coming with its own set of challenges. So as we move forward towards a more digitized financial landscape, cybersecurity also becomes paramount. So our consciousness in this direction, must be second to none. So accountants working with fintech solutions must be aware of the cyber threats, such as the data breaches and phishing scams. There are some of the best practices. Let's see some of the best practices to keep your data and your clients' information safe. Some of them include, like I mentioned, usage of password, enabling multi-factor authentication, in which case you go from one level to the other. That's why even your financial transaction, somebody has the opportunity, the responsibility to upload. Another person would authorize. Maybe another person finally will maybe approve. So these are multi-stage security measures that will guard against any imminent threat, within your fintech platform. You must be conscious about emails, about attachments. It is not everything that comes your way that you open. In fact, I made it a culture that on a daily basis, I go to my spam box. Some genuine mails will go to your spam, but some devilish mails will come to your spam box, or they can come directly to yours. So you must be circumspect. You must be conscious of how you manage access to your emails, even if they appear to be from legitimate sources. I have received quite a number of emails from ICAN. All right, they will just go straight to the spam box. But when I look at it and I've authenticated the whatever, I'll just take it to my inbox. So don't click on suspicious links or download unknown files. You must stay informed about the latest cybersecurity threats and best practices. So let's move to the world of vast opportunities in fintech. It will always open doors to exciting new career paths for those
Hello,
of us who
sir.
are... Yes, sir.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You need
Yes, I'm
to
with you.
start rounding up, sir.
Yes, I'm getting to the end. I'm sure in about 5 minutes I should be
Okay.
rounding up. Sir.
We have about 2 more minutes more.
Okay, sir. All right,
Okay.
sir. So
Thank you.
fintech will always open doors to exciting career opportunities. You can choose to pursue data analytics. You want to become a data analyst. You want to become a risk management expert. You want to become a fintech product developer. You want to be a consultant in fintech. These are the various opportunities available to us. All right. Chartered accountants in this age, they have dimensions of things. There are quite a number of things that are listed here, which of course you can access by the time you get the slide. As accountants, we can always harness the power of advanced analytics and artificial intelligence to analyze the large volume of data, cloud-based computing. These are some of the very, very key areas of importance for accountants. Now, is fintech a threat to accountants? I've mentioned it. The answer is no, it is not a threat. Rather, it is an opportunity for them to adapt and thrive in the digital age. So it provides opportunities for those who are prepared to sharpen their skills, who are prepared to open up their faculty, for acquisition of new skills. What are some of the benefits? Very numerous, right? Increase efficiency, real-time access to financial data, improve accuracy and efficiency, enhance data security measures, among the quite a number of other benefits. Of course, these are some of the technologies that transform accounting and bookkeeping. AI, robotics, cloud technology, tax software innovations, dynamic mobile apps, and of course, blockchain. Final thoughts, my colleagues. Accountants who wish to stay competitive in the accounting sector must embrace the rapid changes in accounting technology. And this entails staying up to date on technological development. We must be able to optimize and adapt existing software to match the demands of your businesses. So while technology continues to shape the accounting space, there's something that remains very sacrosanct. The need for accountants and experience for that matter will always be in high demand. So businesses will need to engage accountants. And accountants and bookkeepers will remain very relevant. So hiring an accountant or bookkeeper will always be more effective cost-wise within the business space. I will be signing off or pausing under this circumstance by taking this quote, which is credited to Martin Luther King. And what does he say? This webinar is an educative webinar session, but Martin Luther King says, the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence of character, that is the goal of true education. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for giving me the platform to express myself in this little manner while I hand over to the moderator to move the the program beyond this point. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the privilege.
Thank you, Mr. Adebayo. That was quite a presentation. As in, I've had my own notepads filled up, with the knowledge that you have shared, and I'm sure the better part of our participants too, excuse me, who has benefited from your wealth of knowledge and the knowledge you've shared, would appreciate as well. So I'll implore us to, help us thank Mr. Adebayo for that wonderful session. If you can use any emojis to appreciate him, that would be great. The district recommendation will come in at the end of the session. Once we have the second presenter, finalized, we have the proper section for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And at least you can see the emojis coming in the chat box from our participants, for the wealth of knowledge you've shared. We appreciate that. So participants, we will now move on to the next paper presenter in the person of Mrs. Adebola Odeyemi, who is on board already. Mrs. Odeyemi, you can prep while I give you your due honors in terms of the intro. Mrs. Odeyemi will be presenting on the topic, data analytics and the accounting profession, to round up on this digital transformation team webinar that the district has organized for us. So this is my intro. Mrs. Odeyemi, are you there? You should be able to unmute yourself and possibly, are you sharing? You can unmute yourself.
Good morning.
I think I can see you in the video.
Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, we can. Okay. So for participants that joined late, the rest assured that we are recording the session, and the recordings will be made available to all registered participants. And as you've heard from Mr. Adebayo, resources that they shared in form of their presentation will be shared to all participants. So if any of you have missed any of the points, or you have the opportunity of listening all over again, the recordings will be shared with you. So while Mrs. Odeyemi prepared a presentation and slides, let me quickly read her profile for us all, at least to let us know the stuff that she's made of. Mrs. Adebola Adejumoke Odeyemi is a forward-thinking leader shaping the business of future, shaping the future of business with artificial intelligence. She's passionate about helping small business thrive in today's digital world that we have all come to embrace. She's an accounting graduate from University of Ado-Ekiti and also a fellow of the Institute. She commenced her career with Tree Consulting, where she played vital role in supporting MTN's Nigeria CRP application and resolving finance-related issues. She equally, has passion in AI, digital skills, and cybersecurity. She's certified in Microsoft Azure Data Fundamentals, Google Data Analytics, Green Digital Skills, which she acquired from Inco Academy in partnership with LinkedIn. Also, like I mentioned, a member of the Institute as well as that of the taxation. She's a chartered tax practitioner and associate member of the Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria. She currently leads a team at Gen 3A Solutions, where she has expanded her focus to include innovative AI-powered business solutions and believes in digital literacy isn't just about finances, but it's about keeping businesses safe and running successfully. She's an expert in digital skills, data analytics, cybersecurity, financial analysis, and also a trusted voice in sharing her knowledge through articles, trainings, which is one of the sessions we are benefiting from this morning. She's a respected author, with her latest book titled The Waiting Room. I'm sure links where we can purchase the book to support her will probably be made available in the course of our presentation. Our mission is to empower business with knowledge tools, which is one of the things she's doing. And our goal is to support 10,000 business women and professionals in harnessing the power of data-driven insights to cover hidden inefficiencies, make informed decisions, and make competitive in the digital landscape. Participants, I present to you Mrs. Adebola Odeyemi to deliver our paper, which is the second presentation for us today. After which we are going to have a question and answer that covers both the first and second presentation. Over to you, Ms. Odeyemi. You have 45 minutes to do your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Alache. I hope I'm right with the name.
Yeah, you are.
Good morning, professional colleagues. It's my pleasure to be here, and I hope my voice is audible. I want to appreciate the chairman of the district, Mrs. Ruth Igwe, FCA, and all the ESCO members. I see this as a privilege, and I'm not taking it for granted. Thank you. So, without wasting much of our time, we're discussing data analytics and the accounting profession. I'm sure we've all been hearing about the word data analytics, and I want to believe that majority of us would have asked ourselves or would have researched, is there any way data analytics is related to my profession or to my job role as an accountant? And that's what we'll be discussing this morning. So here's a table of content. We'll be discussing the introduction, the evolution of accounting. I think I've removed that because of time. What is data analytics? Is there any difference between data analytics and data analysis? We'll deal with that. Why does data analytics matter? We look at a case study if time permits. What are the data analytics tools and techniques? The challenges in adopting data analytics, tips to get started for newbies that are yet to harness the power of data analytics. So introduction, as accountants, it's important that we understand this transformative power of data analytics that we preach in our profession. So in this webinar, we'll be discussing, like I just said, the importance of data analytics in the accounting profession. We share practical tips and examine real life examples. So I want you to buckle up, get your notepad, which I want to believe that is in front of you already. And let's dive into this insightful world of data analytics. So first thing I want to start with is data analysis and data analytics. Even for me as a person, it took a while for me to understand that, we use this word interchangeably, but we have not really taken time to understand if there is any difference between the word data analysis and data analytics. So I've come to realize that there is significant difference that we need to pay attention to even from today as professional accountant. So data analytics is more or less talking about, it's more like the umbrella for data itself. Everything that you want to talk about data, you find it under analytics, while the analysis is just talking about a segment, an aspect of it. So data analytics is a broader term that is encompassing data analysis and the process of collecting, organizing, storing, and disseminating data to support your decision making. So it involves data analytics. When you look at it and critically, you realize that it involves data itself and the analytical techniques that you would use to make your business decision, that will help you to drive business outcome, that will even help you to identify opportunities and solve complex problems where anyone. But data analysis is actually talking about the process, just an aspect, analyzing what do you want to do about a particular, maybe it's healthcare data or maybe it's telecom data. So it is referring to the process of extracting insight and pattern from a set of data, from a data set, often using different techniques, maybe statistical modeling or data visualization tools, machine learning algorithms, and all of that. So basically, it involves you examining the data to answer specific questions or test hypotheses or even solve a particular problem. And if we're in Nigeria, if we're saying that, okay, what's responsible for inflation, or why do inflation keep going higher and higher? Even as accountants, we have every information at our disposal to say, okay, let's take our time to examine previous or historical data to talk about how this inflation in Nigeria has grew over time to what it is. And also, with the information that we have, we'll also be able to say, okay, these and these are the reasons or factors responsible for the increasing cost of an inflation in the country. So when you're doing that, you are more or less analyzing data. And so even as accountants, whether we understand that fact or not, I want us to believe that we are already analyzing data in our own space. It's just that we're not doing it well enough to be seen as an authority in that space, and which I want to believe that this webinar is giving us that clarion call to take it more serious, to be more intentional about the analysis that we do with financial statements and reports that we have at our disposal. So why is data analytics important in accounting? Number one, data analytics will help us to revolutionize accounting profession because it will provide us with real-time insights. A lot of times when we are reviewing financial statements, we get to be more rigid with what we have in front of us. But with the use of data analytics, we can put up some information on a dashboard that will even help us to see historical information and also project into the and be able to make better information or improve decision making for your clients or even for your business as a person. So data analytics is helping us to revolutionize accounting profession by providing real-time insights and improving decision making. I don't even think this one needs any further explanation. Then also, as accountants, we should realize that we are not just number crunchers. We should be seen as a strategic part of any organization through the information that we have at our disposal to help our client make informed data-driven decision. It's different from just saying, okay, with this statement, this is what I project or this is what I advise. No, you are drilling down beyond the face value of that report that you have in front of you to say, because I'm emphasizing this, maybe using predictive analysis to say, okay, this is what the business needs to do, or this is where they need to go. And by doing that, you are becoming a strategic advisor to your client or even to your business. So that is that for importance of data. So again, I'm going back. What is data analysis? I said it before, but I want to reiterate. It's the process of collecting, cleaning, analyzing. It is a process. You have to collect the data, you clean it, you analyze it. When you are able to analyze it, then you want to see it in form of pictures, in form of charts, so that you have better understanding. So when you are looking at it in form of charts, in form of diagram, it helps you to extract meaningful insights from what you're seeing. And you would also agree with me that it will help you to see trends, because you're not just looking at a month's report, you're not looking at 6 months reports, you are probably looking at a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And so it helps you to see trends, identify patterns and relationships that may not be obvious even from raw data alone. So hence why you need to pay closer attention to an when you have one. Oh, I'm sorry, to your reports when you have one with you. So why is data analytics, why does it matter to an accountant? Why does it matter to you as an accountant? You know, like I said, now we live in a world of data. Data is everywhere. There's nowhere you want to turn to. Like Airtel will say that data is life. So now, number of people that fly, let me use BRT, BRT as an example. The number of people that apply or that use BRT, the blue bus, every day, if you look at it, I want to believe that the authority, it's not even believe, I believe that they will have information about the number of people that are using the bus per hour, per day, per week, per minute, or maybe in 3 months they have 6 months of reports. So because of the exponential growth of information, within an hour, if you stand at a bus stop to say you want to count the number of vehicles that are passing, you will be overwhelmed. But there are some statistical tools and techniques and all of that they use to extract all of this information. And because you cannot sit down, like I said, or stand by the roadside to say you want to count the number of vehicles, there is need for you to pay attention to data analysis or to see how it is relevant to your profession as an accountant. So the data grows by the day. And what is data? Information in bits that is being put together is what we call data. So again, harnessing data for informed decision making. You know, there is difference between making decision and making an informed decision. And there is difference between making data-driven decision. Making data-driven decision in the sense that you're looking at ABC to tell your client to say, because of what had happened to you in the last 3 months, because of the hike or the inflation rate of dollars, or because of the increasing cost of price in markets, I am advising that you would follow this step, or you cut down cost, or you do this. You get my point. So you're using as an accountant, it's important that you understand data analytics so that you can be able to harness the power of data to make or recommend informed decision for your client or for your own business, as it were. Then again, why does it matter to you as an accountant? It empowers you to add value beyond number crunching. You know, when you look at a particular information, you're looking at the P and L, and you're saying, okay, madam or sir, your business has been on loss for 3 years consecutively, and is asking you, what can I do? And you're saying, well, maybe you should stop doing the business. No, that might be absolutely wrong. But you'll be adding value as a data, or let me say, as a digital accountant, because there is no way you want to be digital about accounting that you'll not harness these data analytics tools. So because you are a step ahead of a regular or traditional accountant, you are saying, sir, I don't think this business that you're doing is what you should be doing. Why don't you diversify? Or why don't you look at this aspect of business? It will actually help you. I guess it's because of the business that you're doing, or because of the high cost that you pay for importation. Let's look at in-house local products that we can use and all of that. You know, by the time you are doing that, you are adding value to your regular job as an accountant, or as a traditional accountant, as it were. So that is the reason why it matters to you as an accountant to pay attention to data analytics, or even learn it as a course, so that it can help your job as progress. So what are the applications of data analytics in accounting? Like financial analysis and reporting. So how can you apply data analytics to financial analysis and reporting? Number one, when you are looking at your financial statement, you are asking yourself, okay, sorry, when you're looking at the financial report, you are asking, what do I need to do? What tools. Okay, no, I'm trying to bring in the tools here and I don't want to bring in the tools yet. So just give me a second. Please. So when you are talking about the analytics, you're talking about, sorry, financial analysis and reporting. As an accountant, data analysis will help you to identify the trends and patterns, and and also help you to. Please, I hope you can still see my screen. Hello?
Yeah, we can see it. Please go ahead.
Okay, so as accountants, data analytics will help you to identify trends, patterns, and any form of abnormality, which we call anomalies, in the data or in the financial report that you have at your disposal. Then, because data analytics also have some form of automated reporting and visualization tools, it will help you to provide real-time insights for your clients or stakeholders, as it were. Then, talking about budgeting and forecasting, as accountants, data analytics will help you to create accurate budgets and forecasting on historical data, current data, and even to observe the trends. So just saying, this month, this is what we did. Last month we had deficit. 2 months or last year we had deficit, and us now is doing well. You need to be able to state with some form of certainty, which is usually accompanied by data, facts, that yes, this budget is accurate or fair enough. Then also there's something we call scenario planning and sensitivity analysis. As accountants, with the use of data analytics, it will help you to advise your clients better, hence helping them make informed decision or informed data-driven decision. Then for auditing and assurance, as auditors, data analytics will help you to identify high-risk areas and also focus on automating some of the redundant or some of frequently frequent tasks that you do. It will help you to automate such process and identify high risk areas, because when you are saddled with accounting, as I don't know, I'm not in the audit practice, but I don't know what obtains now if majority of us are now harnessing the power of data analytics for auditing. But I know that because the work is usually looking so overwhelming due to volatility of data and all of that, it's important that you are able to identify from the word go, what are the high risk areas in this audit? What are those things that I need to pay attention to? What are those things that we can automate, that we don't need to spend so much time on it? We just take sampling to get facts and information about that, and we move. So with data analysis, continuous auditing and monitoring will enable you to identify real-time deficiencies and inconsistencies in the reporting system or in the entire internal control of the organization. Then again, tax planning and compliance. As accountant or as tax accountant, data analytics will help you in identifying tax saving opportunities and also optimizing tax strategies, what you can do, because have data, you are able to think wide. What else can I do? What do I need to do to help this business or to reduce the tax that I am paying and all of that? So because you're having all of the information you need on a particular spot, which we call dashboard, at a spot or at a glance, it helps you to be able to think more proactively and strategically about what you need to do. Then again, data analytics, because there are a lot of automated tax compliance tools that you can harness to reduce errors. It will also help you to ensure timely filing of the tax reports that you have with you. So, okay, then risk management and internal control. For that one, again, as accountants, we are able to identify a lot of risk and say, okay, maybe because of doing this, this is why this is happening. But at a standpoint of looking at the visualization board or looking at the trends over time, which you have analyzed in form of chart or in form of diagram, one form of statistical tools that you might have employed, it will help you to be able to identify and assess risk across the organization, across the department, or across industry to say, okay, this is what we need to do better. So data-driven insights will enable us as accountants to develop targeted risk management strategies. And by so doing, it will help you to implement effective internal controls. So now we're talking about the data analytics tools and technologies, which I want to believe that majority of us are familiar with. Oh, I think I made a mistake here. I would fix it. So Excel and Excel add-in tools. You know, from what we have now, I think there are a number of softwares which I don't want to start giving names to right now, but I know that Excel has gone beyond just a spreadsheet where we just input data and we have some form of information to present. We now have a lot of add-ins, that have been infused into Excel, depending on the version or the model that you are using. So for Microsoft Excel, there's, we see it now as data analysis. We see it more like a powerful data analysis and visualization tools, because we have add-ins like Power Query. Even if you don't have it, you can always download to get it. There is Power Pivot and there is Power BI. Power BI is business intelligence, and all of this will help you to it will enhance your data manipulation and analysis capacity. It will help you to be able to realize, okay, this is what I need to do. Power Query will help you query the data to check, make it clean. Is there any inconsistency? Why is this like this? And by the time you're doing that, put it to Power Pivot to see it in form of charts, in form of table, to having it in segments or in groups, for you to make proper decision. I'm taking it to Power BI. Power BI is more like a business intelligence tool to say, okay, with all of this information, what can we do? What is business lacking? Is the where are we making much profits? What do we need to reduce? Is there any product we need to introduce, or is there any products we need to remove? Are you sure we should continue on this business? All of those information is at a glance with Excel, as long as we have that knowledge. Then, like I said, data visualization tools. Yes, Power BI is also one of them. But again, we also have Tableau, which some people believe that is the leading data visualization tools for accountants, because it has a lot of robust dashboards and interactive tools that helps to make better decisions. Then we also have quick view or something. Yeah, it's also a business intelligence tool that is used for data analysis and visualization. Then for statistical analysis softwares, we have R. That's a popular programming language for statistical computation and graphics illustrations. Then we have Python. I don't want to go into all of that. So Python is more like, it's also popular. It's also popular depending on the one that organizations or you as a person have decided to specialize in. But Python seems to be more versatile as a language for data analysis, machine learning, and automation of processes and all automated. Yeah, there's also automated machine learning, and so it's a form of language that is used for data analysis generally. Let me stop there. Then we also have machine learning tools and AI tools. That's where we have TensorFlow, which is an open source machine learning framework for predictive analytics. Then we have Skit-learn. That one is like a machine learning library for Python with various algorithms. It's wide. Then we also have accounting software, accounting specific tools, where we have the likes of QuickBooks, we have Xero, we have Zapier, we have ZoeBooks, we have Peachtree. The list is endless. But like Xero is a cloud-based accounting software with analytics capacity as well. And I think Zapier is also an automated tool for connecting accounting apps and streamlining accounting workflows. So Next slide. So key key data analytics techniques. I've explained that, but I just want us to have a more understanding since I will be sharing this slide. So for this data visualization, by visualizing the data using techniques like charts, graphs, and dashboards, you are able to identify trends. You are able to identify patterns. You are able to identify outliners. Outliner is what does not fit. And you are identify all of these things more effectively, faster, prompt. And these will help you to make or recommend better informed decision to your client or even to your organization. Then again, one of the key thing that, or one of the key techniques that is very recommended or crucial for accountants to be aware of is that of fraud detection. Accountants, we can now use predictive analysis to anticipate changes in market condition. Based on historical data that we have at our disposal, you are able to identify customer behavior using historical data vis-a-vis what is currently obtainable, and with that you see the financial performance. So by the time you are able to predict future trends with the information that you have at your disposal, as accountant, you can proactively identify opportunities and risks even before they present itself, and thereby enabling you to recommend strategic decision making for your organization or even for your clients. Then predictive analytics, that is more or less like using advanced analytical tools like the Python, the R, the SQL to detect potential fraud in financial transactions, in payroll records. And all of these things have their own data analytics too that are embedded in them, depending on the one that we are using. There are also expense reports. With expense reports, you're able to identify, okay, this expenses is more recurrent. Okay, is what we need to do. Is there a way to reduce it? By detecting fraud early, accountants can minimize financial losses and also protect the integrity of their organization's finances. And even for that accountant that is able to detect this early, you earn some level of trust or even promotion from the organization because you have gone ahead even before it was noticed or even before it was perpetrated to say, okay, because of what I am doing or because of what I have introduced into this, I am able to identify that if we don't stop this, this is what might happen. So now we're looking at a real life case study. So, and I want to, maybe I should put it as the last thing for us, but I'll just briefly talk about the fraud detection that I was saying. Let's assume that there is a company XYZ Limited, and what was the challenge? The challenge of the organization so far has been that there is always fraudulent transactions happening in the system, and it's usually detected during audits, and that would have taken maybe like 2 or let's say like 12 months, depending on the timing that each organization puts in for their audit. But let's assume that it takes a typical company or this XYZ, they usually audit in 18 to 12 months, in 2 years rather. And so by the time that they are detecting or they are reviewing their reports or their financials or the audit is going on, they now that there is huge fraud or a particular transaction is being doctored or there is a ghost worker among the staff, or there is somebody that is an external vendor to perpetrate fraud in one form or the other. So with data analytics tools and understanding and implementation, you will be able to identify that so you want to ask yourself, what is responsible for this data set? I don't want to go into the history, so I'm just trying to pick some of the points that is applicable for us to learn. So you want to ask yourself, what is responsible for this fraudulent act or fraud that usually happen or that we notice every year, despite the internal control measures that we have put in place, and you are not able to fix it? It's probably due to large data sets. And you and I would agree that for you to review data sets, maybe let's say millions or billions of data sets, it will take, I don't think that is even possible because it will always be prone to mistakes and error. But with the use of machine learning algorithms, Python codes and SQL codes, it will help you to identify or detect all of these anomalies. It could be like there's a loophole in the accounting procedure, or from the procurement to the treasury, that is giving room for this fraud to happen year in, year out. So, but if you are able to harness the power of data analytics, maybe probably through machine learning algorithm, or having a proper small data analytics unit or department in your organization, you detect that, okay, maybe it's due to some anomalies, due to some loopholes, or maybe we have the high risk transactions that should not go through cash or check, or should rather have like a 4-step authentication process to get money issued to that particular client or organization. So if you look at all of this holistic, at the end, you will realize that you'll be saving the business millions of naira or dollars for in averting potential fraud losses. So I'll just at that one case study, and if there's still more time, we can probably look at more. Then what are the challenges in adopting data analytics as an accountant? Number one is data quality issues. Data quality issues because, one, you want to ask yourself, this information that I have with me, or this data that is being presented to me, is it accurate? Is it complete? And there's something we call dirty data. You know, if you have like millions of rows of data that is being presented to you as an accountant, you know, when we go for audit and you're asking for the client to spool reports, to spool information for you, many a times the information they spool for you, if they actually want to be wicked, they'll give you dirty data in the sense that you have spelling errors, you have capital letter A mixed with small letter A, you have words inside letters, you have letters inside words, you know, they're looking so horrible that even you as the auditor, before you will take time to clean up that data, you have spent maybe 50% of the time that is allotted for you on that job. So there is data quality issue, which is usually caused by inaccurate or incomplete data, or even dirty data. Then also there is data integration and compatibility problem. This is usually as a result of you maybe the accounting package they were using before has an upgraded version, and by the time you already feel like, okay, let me use IFS, that's industrial and financial systems application, is an ERP application. So if you are using that one, I currently don't know the version they are in right now, but maybe the last time you went for an audit, they were on 5.2, and by the time you are going back, they are on 5.7, or let's say 6.0, and you have the understanding of 5.0 or 5.2, you will struggle with the information at your disposal. So there is need for you to understand, to come to terms with data analysis. So why is it a challenge in the first place? Is because you are not up to date as an accountant on the aspect or the component or the nitty-gritty about data itself. So that is why it will pose as a challenge to you, struggling with the integrating the data that you are given to what you want to do, or even the compatibility problem as it were. I hope my explanation is understood there. Then also we have technical skill gap. That is simple. Lack of data analytics experience or expertise. If you don't have understanding about data analytics, it should just be like magic to you. It will look like they are performing magic. So then again, insufficient training and support. Data analytics is so evolving and not so stable. Yeah, it's so evolving in the sense that if you have to keep updating yourself regularly, even as a data experienced person. So, and that is another high challenge or huge challenge for accountants that we want to go into it. Yes, we believe that you understand Excel and probably some add-ins. I want to use that to help your business make better improve decisions. You would struggle if you don't go or acquire adequate training and support where you need it. Then data security and privacy. Because as accountants, we protect sensitive financial data a lot. Some organizations might want you to take their data away from their system. Maybe you'll be using their laptop while you are doing the audit. They don't trust body enough because there is ransomware, which is a form of what's it called? It's a form of risk to them, because if their documents should get exposed to the online space or to cyber attacks, they get to pay huge for that. So they wouldn't want to take chances or risk releasing sensitive data to you without being assured that it is going to be safe. So there is usually the concern for stakeholders about data security and privacy, and also ensuring, and again, talking about the compliance with regulation. There is data privacy regulations, DPR, and a lot of other regulations that even as accountants you need to be aware of before saying that, yes, I am dealing with this data, or I can actually do this with data. You know, if you go online, there is this site, Cargo. You get to see a lot of data information that you can use to practice. And while some of it you can use to practice, they have terms and conditions attached to it that you can only use it to practice, but you can't post your review or analysis or outcome on the public space for people to see. So it depends. So even as accountants, as professionals, we need to be careful that in adopting data analysis, we want to comply with the set up or standard regulations that is applicable to them. Then cost and resources constraints. This is you knowing that you need to invest in data analytics tools and trainings. You know, some of these tools are not cheap, but even though we have some open source like SQL, PostgreSQL, that you can easily download from the internet, for some that you might want to maybe get better and faster knowledge about, you might need to pay to invest in it. And if you are not ready or setting aside a certain amount of money to get that, to invest in that, you might struggle even with the adoption, or just feel like, I don't need this. So there is need for, again, there is just emphasizing the need for you to invest more in training and probably keep a budget for that. Then allocating sufficient resources and budget for it. So it's just for you while adopting, that you take note that you need to adopt reasonable budget for that. Then change management. Even as accountant, we decide that the only thing that is constant is change itself. So so you need to know that adopting data analytics, you have to keep evolving. You look out for new technologies and processes. You understand the market domains, or the cultural and organizational changes, because the way you would handle data in an healthcare sector will be different from the way you handle in telecom. And all of them have their standard regulations and rules that binds their compliance compliance and implementation. So there is need for you to learn, that you will need to and understand the cultural and organizational changes as it were, or as it's related to the company that you will be working for. So next is building okay, building a data-driven culture in accounting firms. So number one, we said leadership buy-in and support. Leadership buy-in and support. What's this talking about? It's talking about the fact that, okay, if you want to really ensure that you have a data-driven culture in your accounting firm, there is need for the leadership to buy into that idea, to give it all of the support that it needs. And so that is why leadership buy-in and support is very crucial in fostering a data-driven culture for accounting firms. You know, leaders need to champion, they need to be ahead. It's not for them to say, yes, I'm sending you on training on data analytics. They also need to be at the forefront. They need to champion the adoption of that data analytics initiative by also allocating funds for the training, and also investing in technology tools that will make the training, because after training you will need to implement, you need to practice to make all of the knowledge that you have acquired feasible for you to practice, or for you to even implement in your company. So by demonstrating a commitment to data-driven decisions, the leaders must be ready for continuous learning and development, because this is very critical to building a data-driven organization or culture in your company. So accountants are encouraged to expand their skills and knowledge by taking training programs, workshop courses, and you would agree a lot of them are available online, some free ones. In fact, You can get a lot from YouTube, Coursera, that you might not be costing you an arm and a leg to acquire. But again, for the leaders, for the management in organization, there is need for them to be more intentional in investing into this employee development by empowering their team to be able to, after acquiring the training, to be able to put them or implement them into their day-to-day operations. Then the other part of it is the collaboration between department, across departments and teams. You know, for a finance, let me even start from procurement department to supply chain, depending, you know, I'm sure it depends. The process flow or the workflow depends on organization. But from the user department to procurement to vendor management to finance team, the treasurer, whoever is disposing the cash, if there is no collaboration across these departments and teams, data analytics will be a frustrated process for whoever is leading the team. So it's important that you are intentional about seamlessly integrating data analytics into your accounting processes from the beginning to the end. That is what we mean by. And also, when you talk about collaboration with across departments, it also means that accountants should work closely with the IT specialists, the data. It's not necessarily that I'm saying that all accountants should go and become data analytics. No, just have the basic understanding and understand the role of data analytics in your job as a tax accountant, as an auditor, as the head of treasury, as the tax manager, whatever job that is being given to you, you should be able to work closely with IT specialists to relate your problem, understand what they are saying, and they understanding what you are saying, or the view or the opinion that you are giving them. And by the time you are able to have this smooth relationship or collaboration, it helps you to identify sources of data problem or business problem or fraud. And if you are able to identify the source, you are able to analyze this data effectively to say, okay, this is what is responsible, or this is not what. Then overall, it helps you to derive actionable insights from it. So by fostering a collaborative environment, as accounting firms will be able to harness the power and the expertise of data analytics teams in their organization to drive innovation and business growth for their organization.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you need to start rounding up now.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe in another 2 minutes.
Okay. So practical tips for getting started with data analytics. Start small and focus on high impact areas depending on the job that you're doing. I've emphasized this before. Invest in training and upskilling programs. Collaborate with data experts and IT professionals. Don't wait for you to know everything. Collaborate. Try, let them understand what you do and how what you do affects what they do. And that way you can be able to get better information. Then my conclusion, data analytics is transforming accounting profession. We all know that there is no gainsaying about the impact of data analysis in our profession as accountant. From financial analysis to fraud detection, data analytics is essential. It is crucial for accountants to understand. You need to know what is AI, artificial intelligence, how is it affecting my job, what am I doing that AI will take over, blockchain, cloud computing. All of these are going to form the future of accounting, which it is already forming the future already. It's forming the future. We can see the future is here. It's just that it's not being fully implemented in Nigeria. So as we conclude this discussion, I just want to give us like a call to action for us to embrace data analytics and stay ahead of the curve. Don't be left behind. Invest in training and development to enhance your skill, upskill. Leverage all of these data analytics tools and techniques that we have discussed, even to start helping your make informed business decision. And again, join the conversation. Together, we can shape the future of accounting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Adebola. That was a wonderful presentation from you on data analytics and accounting. And I'm sure our members and participants who are on this call have benefited from your wealth of experience and what you have shared with us this morning on data analytics and everything around it. And your own expertise in that subject matter, speaks volume, considering the projects that you have done. Members are, thanking you and giving you lots of emojis on the platform, at least to show appreciations for what you have shared with us this morning. So thank you. And the honors from the district will come in sometime later while we prepare for our question and answer session. So for anyone that has questions, either you want to voice it out to any of our participants, please signify by raising your hands, then I'll be able to give you the audience. But pending when we prep ourselves for the question and answer session, which is supposed to last about 15-20 minutes, I understand we have the honors of having our past president in the person of Alhaji Razak Jayola, who I think the first presenter mentioned in his own initial presentation, is equally on this webinar as a paid participant to learn, which is one of the points Mrs. Adebola equally mentioned as well, as we need to continue, to learn and retool ourselves. So Alhaji is on the call, and we will appreciate if he at least can give us the honors of, either a pep talk, anything he has in mind to say, for us on this call as well, while we prepare for the question and answer session. You have the floor, Sir Alhaji.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the district for continuously organizing very, very interesting topics, whether paid, whether free, and all the rest. And the district has been very, very consistent with organizing this. I want to congratulate the chair. I want to congratulate the committee in charge, and I want to congratulate the district. This morning, I have a jam-packed program. I have a free webinar by ICAN on sustainability. Yours is not free, and but the topic are so attractive to me. The first is by Mr. Peter Adebayo on Fintech, and Mrs. Odemi on data analytics and the accountants. I haven't heard Mrs. Odemi speak before, but I have no doubts about the competence, the ability, and the delivery of Peter Adebayo. And I know that before fielding Ms. Odemi, she must have been very, very good. I've had the opportunity of meeting her and also knowing that I'm adding one person to the group of people that I can easily call when I have challenges on such topics. So, on the whole, I want to congratulate those who have decided to pay to join this call today, because this is what is trending. We should not join the group of complainants. You want to improve your lot by yourself, and you should get going. This is the direction of the accounting profession. Please, let us take it seriously. People are making billions of dollars seated here in Nigeria. We don't have two heads. And what is involved in further learning is not as difficult as what we went through before qualifying as a chartered accountant. So take the interest. It's in your own best interest and in the interest of future generations. Once again, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, our River President, for that eloquent speech. I'm sure the participants on the call have harkened on to the, your call, which is one of the reasons why we are all here, to learn, to unlearn and definitely relearn. We are taking after your footsteps, and hopefully, collectively, we are going to improve a lot of the profession, and in the course of doing that, our individual expertise as well. Thanks once again for the pep talk and your continuous support of our district. We love you, sir. So now to the question and answer session. I've not seen anything written in the chat box yet, and like I said, anyone interested in a voice call should, use the hand raise icon so that I'll be able to give them the honors to ask the question. Okay, I have Mr. Olaide Oshukoya on the call. Please unmute yourself, sir, and ask your question.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, my professional colleagues, and good morning to the two speakers. I really appreciate Mr. Adebayo and Mrs. Odeyemi for that good presentation. But there's something I want to say about fintech that is missing in Nigeria as a whole. Because if you are trying to sell fintech, which business are we looking at for we practitioners to be able to, get into? Because I remember that if you go to UK, the smallest supermarket owned by an Indian man has a software in both selling, in everything. But in Nigeria, for 95% of our SME does not even have fintech. And they are the bone of this economy in Nigeria today, whether we like it or not. Because when we are talking about fintech in Nigeria, we keep on referring to MTN, Dangote, banks, but we left those people behind. And I asked a question when I said, in UK, there's a sawmiller in UK that is doing about $120,000. So when I came to Nigeria, we have a sawmill business in most states in the Southwest. I opportuned to go on a research to meet two of them. And so far, they are doing turnover most companies in stock exchange are not doing. How will fintech assist those one? Also, our supermarket in Nigeria, our SME, both importer, exporter, there are many because they are the key in this Nigerian economy. Secondly, to me, Odeyemi, I really appreciate when you try to distinguish between data analytics and data analysis. There are things that are very fundamental to we in practice. Now, there are some clients, whether you like it or not, they are not yet to embrace that analysis, whether we like it or not. I'll give you an example. We have oil and gas. Under oil and gas, we have downstream sectors. Under downstream sector, we have petrol stations. Those petrol stations, those pumps they were using, somebody developed a software in which they don't need to go outside to go and see the meter reading. But one thing that happened, the software keep on spoiling the pump. Every time they keep on repairing the pump. So one guy now came from NNPC. I said, no, this pump you are using in Nigeria was not configured, was not to relate to any software yet, so you cannot use it. That's one. Then secondly, we in practice, we discovered that most of the clients that are in SME that we work for are not even in fintech or data. They are not there at all. So we have a lot of work for us ourselves to do. We go there, we have to do for them. Some of them, in fact, we are even selling them to buy software. They said, where are the personnel to do the job? Thank you very much.
Okay, I wouldn't know, but I hope our resource persons got the questions from.
Yes.
Okay, so you want
Thank
to
you
go
very
first,
much.
Mr. Adebola? Mr.
Okay,
Adebayo, my apologies.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Before I move ahead to respond to that question, let me first of all appreciate our revered past president. for always supporting our cause. Thank you once again, sir. Now, the comment that has been raised is very, very fundamental. And you know, one thing I have noticed, if you look at the informal sector of Nigerian economy, it's loaded with huge opportunities for those who can recognize. Now, like Mrs. Odem was saying, the only thing that is constant in life is change. And when you look at change management, the greatest enemy of change is resistance. Now, those people within the informal sector who are averse or who want to demonstrate apathy towards fintech, what you need to do, what I normally do to capture them is I will prepare a very robust proposal. With the knowledge of their business in the industry, in the sector where they are playing. I will underscore the significance of automation, the significance of technology, particularly as it affects finance. And I will let them know what they are going to be missing if they don't embrace this without having to force them. So it requires a lot of enlightenment. And part of also what I do is either formally or informally, there's a way I package educative, stores for them that will make them see reasons. I have a client, for instance, that client will say, softwares are very expensive. Then I say, fine, softwares are expensive. But I can tell you, there are softwares that you can adopt, that you can implement, that will not cost you so much. Look at Zoho, for instance. I have some small informal sector-driven businesses now. What we introduce to them is Zoho. You don't need to pay as much as you pay for, say 50, say 200, say whatever it is, QuickBooks, that is it, Tally, all of those things. You don't need to pay so much for them. As little as 5,000 on a monthly basis, as little as less than 100,000 per annum. You can subscribe to a Fintech app that will drive your financial reporting and give you value. So all the majority of them are ignorant. So as much as possible, let us recognize the need and look. These people we are talking about, they are already demonstrating apathy, but we have the responsibility to enlighten and educate them more on the value that embracing fintech is going to generate or engender on their business. Then number two, most times they don't need to come to us. We are the ones that will go to them. More often than not, except by referrals, and that's one other thing. Most of the businesses we have gotten in recent times, they've had to come through referrals. But then if you are not getting business through referrals, you have the opportunity or responsibility to identify those people who you believe will require those services, and you fashion out a very formidable and effective strategy to let them see a reason why they must go the way of fintech. So that's where I'm going to respond to that. I hope I've been able to. Otherwise, Mrs. Odai is here, and of course, our professional father is also here to lend more credence to this comment that has been raised. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that response. Mr. Adeyemi, you want to come in relating to the data analytic comments?
Okay, sir. I want to recognize the presence of our revered past president, Alhaji Razak Ayola, FCA. It's my pleasure to be meeting him online here today. And I'm surprised that he said that he has never heard speak, even though I've quite a lot of training facilitations for Ikeja district. So, well, I'm glad that he's here today, and I know I will pick one or two lessons from his comments and observations. So, to answer the question, I think Mr. Adebayo already said some of what I wanted to say, but I'm trying to remember the second question he asked regarding data analytics. But in all, there is something I want to say about data analytics and the acceptance of SMEs, maybe in buying into the idea. Number one, I think it depends on, just like Mr. Adebayo said, it depends on how you are presenting yourself to your clients. Because I don't believe that in this age and time, anyone should be doing more of paperwork or manual process in auditing. So the list is for them to identify the available or cheapest package that will help them to do their business or to help their business process be improved. So I don't know. Sorry for the distraction. So what I'm going to say is that I want to hear this. I was distracted a bit. Apologies. I don't know if Mr. Oshokoya can repeat his question, but my take is that as accountants, as professionals, if we have anyone that is still living in the traditional age, I think we have a duty to inform them, and we cannot be informing them by word of mouth. We have to present something to them, maybe in form of proposal or in form of even offering them free tools that they can implement for the time being, maybe for a month, maybe trial version, for them to see the difference between making their process and continuing in their redundant accounting approach. So that's what I would say. But if I get a better understanding of the question, maybe I can shed more light. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Odeyemi.
Please, can I comment a bit?
Yeah, yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. The emoji for raising hand is not showing in this platform I'm using. So my apologies for interrupting. I found let me apologize to Mrs. Adibola. I'm so sorry. You know, Ikeja district, the Pacesetter district, you know, does feed so many people, and it's difficult to catch everybody. But I'm very happy at your presentation. That's the most important thing. Thank you very much. On the first question, it looks like the questioner is not aware of what is happening. Do you know that the fintech companies are giving the banks a run for their money? They are all over the place. And to tell you how fintech is embraced by the informal sector, if you want to buy anything, go to GG. GG is JJ, you know, go to the platform, try to buy anything, you know. By the time you are making payments, they are not using all these traditional banks. So they have embraced it so much. And if you go to Computer Village, you want to pay, you know, you want to do transfer, you'll be surprised. The thing is all over the place and is growing astronomically, you know. So it's only the elites, people that are not really doing much business transactions, you know, that are not there yet. They know the advantages of fintech, and it's really making weight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our revered past president, for that thoughts and compliments. And just for me to add to the various points of discussion, I don't remember the last time I've been into any of the banking hall, you know, in the last decade now. At least the only thing that takes me to the bank has to do with if I have to, you know, pick up any of the cards, you know, that's associated with my own whatever. And most of the things that I purchase now, basically, I don't even tend to understand, tend to know the people I'm dealing with. Once their product is qualitative and they have offered me some less payment platform, just place the order and then get it delivered. And that to me is another power of fintech, which has more or less like, you know, improve, what do I call it now? Quality of service. Yeah, it might not have more or less that been rolled out on all platforms, but gradually, I think we are inching close by now. Even with the mobile companies, picking up, what do we call it now? The payment, the PSB licenses, as mentioned by, as announced by the central bank. That's to tell us the incursion, of fintech into our own everyday life. So over time, as in, it has come to stay, and we just happen to more or less like live with it, and to continue to more or less like roll out as we progress technologically. We have some other questions, that have been penned in the chat room, particularly to Mrs. Odeyemi. One participant wants to know if an accountant must know Python, TensorFlow, or coding before it becomes a data analytic. Another one comes in asking for resource centers where data sets can be used to build one's data analysis skill. The follow-up question to that has to do with data analytics helping to develop risk management strategies. Maybe if you can expand on more strategies to achieve that. Mr. Demi, can you attend to those questions?
Yes. Okay, so for the first question on if it is important or that is it compulsory to learn Python, R, and all of that before you can be a data analyst? No. As much as I want to say an outright no, I believe that as accountants, it's important for us to have basic understanding about all of these requirements or these languages or technical or data analytics tools. It's not a strict requirement for us, but I want to believe that having the understanding of these tools can certainly be of advantage to us in data-driven business environment. And number one is the fact that for data manipulation and analysis, you would need R for the Python or R, depending for that. That's for your data manipulation, where you have different libraries and all of that. But what it helps you to do is that it helps you to work easily with data, large data sets. It helps you to perform complex calculations and also visualize your data all at once. So Python is more like an essential skill for data analysts, whether you like it or not. Then maybe a little of machine learning. It's not compulsory that you have to learn all of these things in holistically. Just have an understanding. And I quickly want to share my story. When I was in, I think that was 2011, I was working with MTN, and then it was more or less like on the job training for me, learning IFS. That's an industrial financial system. It's an application that MTN was using then. So having started on the job, maybe after a week training, we're posted to the site to start working. And we have KPIs attached and weekly reports and appraisals that we have to do every week. And I realized that if I don't find a way to help myself, I might not be getting a good report. So what did I do? I sit in between the two technical guys, and I'm looking at them the way they were writing the codes. I'm very inquisitive when it comes to knowledge. I always want to know, okay, what's this person doing and why can't I do it? So I sat in between them, and I'm looking at the way they write select, this, that, and that was it. And I started writing it. And so one of them took like, okay, you really want to know this version? They got me a book, I think SQL Manual for Dummies or something. So that was the beginning for me. May I tell you that in 6 months, I was seconded to MTN Zambia. To me, it was a very simple task, but people have been seconded that they failed, they could not resolve that issue. But on getting there, I did it within a week, and I was on a month, 30 days secondment there. So the remaining 3 weeks was just like, and they were like, so where have you been all of this while? So it just boils down to the fact that something may not be so strict as a requirement for you on your job, but you want to ask yourself, is this thing important for me to learn? Or is it going to help me or make my work more efficient? you know. So for me, writing the code as an accountant is just for you having the understanding. It will help you to remove some repetitive tasks. It will help you to streamline workflows and probably extract more insights because of the data that you are seeing, maybe holistically and all of that. Then again, as accountants, you know, it's not compulsory that we have to learn it again. So it helps us to be able to collaborate with all of these data scientists, software engineers, because when they are speaking their language, you have a bit of understanding. And at this point, I also want to plead that the ICAN, I'm sure revered past president can help us on this. I know they are doing a bit of it, but maybe if they can be more intentional about including modules on data analytics and all this programming language into the curriculum, into the MCPD, it will help accountants to acquire this knowledge, at least on how, maybe narrowing it down to how it relates to accountancy profession more. It will help. So that is that for the first question. Then the second question, asking about resource center to learn data analytics. I would say that the first center that I would recommend for you, depending on the kind of knowledge you want to acquire, is YouTube. I always say Google is your friend. If no matter what they say, if you are hearing it for the first time and you really want to know it, you go to the internet, you go to Google. What is this thing? How is it to accounting profession? That's what I do. Whether I know it before or I'm just hearing it for the first time, you go online. I am a treasury analyst. I have never used data analytics. How can I use? And it will give you ideas. It will give you resource center. It will give you links. It will give you links to books that you can also read. And by doing that, I'm sure it would help you to be a better person. Then we also have Coursera. Coursera run a lot of free courses that can help you. I'm a self-taught person. I can say that any day, anytime. Trainings and opportunities that other people have, I have learned to do it on my own or pay by myself. I have never had the privilege to work in a multinational, but I can say that I can compete with them any day, anytime, because I am very intentional about personal development, which I know will run or help my professional development and growth. So I hope I've been able to answer the questions.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Odeyemi. I don't know if Mr. Adebayo has any additional thoughts
Yeah,
to the questions while we round up.
Yeah, the additional thought I have is to buttress what she has just said. You see, as accountants, as professionals, self-learning philosophy is very, very germane. You know, you'll be amazed that, like she said, these things cost you less. And I also do it. There are fields of endeavor in life that I never studied in the university of anywhere, but I will just pick interest in that particular field. And before you know it, I mean, when I begin to exhibit tendencies of knowledge in that area, people will probably think I'm going to run maybe a degree course or whatever it is. So it is essential that we cultivate the habit of self-learning so that we can improve. I have my revered past chairman, you know, trying to also buttress this area. Sorry, sir. My revered past president, sir.
Yes, sorry, I had to use that signal because I cannot find the one for raising hand. You know, thank you very much, Mrs. Odeyemi. You wanted me to get across to the Institute regarding the inclusion of data analytics and all that into the curriculum. Just last week, there was a program by IFAC and PAFA, Pan-African Federation of Accountants. We were trying to introduce the new international education standards. You know, so I joined on, and our president was required to give practical insights on the application of those international education standards, 8 or 9 of them, you know. So he delivered his paper. When he finished, I had to send a note to him over WhatsApp because in the format presented by IFAC, they had a number of subjects that were listed. And when he was doing his presentation, he listed the various subjects that are included in our own program. They are right from foundation level to the professional level. So I sent a note to him that where is information technology included in our syllabus, you know. And he got back to me immediately after the program that there is an arrangement in place where they were trying to introduce information technology into our syllabus and all that. I've not gotten back to him for the fine details because, you know, I'm very, very interested. So I appreciate your contribution, Mrs. Odeyemi. I'll be getting across to you for more education. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our revered past president and our resourceful resource persons as well. Our time is fast spent, but you can see how engaging, you know, the session has been, which is why I'm not constrained too much. Less like we ought to have concluded about 20 minutes ago, but the interest, you know, showed by participants as well as our resource persons, you know, in, you know, answering questions that are quite germane and important. That's one of the reasons why this was accommodated. And in the chat box, someone even suggested that he will appreciate the district engage experts to come and train our members on practical hands-on experience on the softwares or some social media marketing usages. They wouldn't mind paying, paying for such. It shows how enthusiastic our members are in improving their knowledge and, you know, in transforming, you know, their technical skill, you know, in upskilling both the profession and then their own personal expertise. So I can assure you the district is going to look into this and bring this to fruition because it's a very good suggestion. Of course, the person said this has to be physical because you don't get much from what do we call it now, remote or virtual for practical hands-on experience. So we'll look at the logistics surrounding it and we'll get back to participants and then the districts. So this is officially, you know, winding down the question and answer session. I'm sure some of us have more questions and answer session. The resource person's contact details will be in the materials we are going to share to all registered participants, which will include the question and the recording as well. So any of us that missed any aspect of this important webinar can go over it and listen to it again and then look at the resource materials shared by our resource persons. Once again, thank you to everyone. Continue on the concluding part of this program, which has to do with the vote of thanks to the participants. This honor is going to be done by the district's technical secretary in the person of Mr. Peter Olanipekun. Mr. Olanipekun, I hope you're on the call.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Mr.
Sorry,
Latishi.
sir, before, just 2 seconds before you go, I hope I can just do an interjection. Please, sir.
No problem, sir.
All right, sir. While we are talking, I noticed that one of a member of the body of past chairman of Ikeja and this society is also here. So please, if you don't mind, you can also help us appreciate Mr. Kamoru Amodu, one of our past chairmen in ICAN Ikeja District Society, identifying with Amuwo of District. He's here on the line. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. My chairman will do that honors when she comes back online. But thanks for noting it out. I've noted him and
Yeah.
have given him the co-host rights, and he'll be able to speak once the chairman give him, acknowledge him, and at the same time give him that honor. So, Mr. Olanipekun, can you quickly, appreciate our resource persons?
Okay, thank you, our able moderator, Mr. Latishe. It has been a day-long session. As it has been rightly said, Oluseyi Olanipekun is my name, and I'm the technical secretary of the district. This is ICAN Amuwo and District Society. We usually hold our meetings at Lagos State University of Science and Technology. They are Isolo campus. We hold our meetings on second Saturday of every month. So you are all welcome. If you don't belong to a district yet, we will be glad to receive you in one of our meetings these days. So we hold our meetings in both hybrid and on-site versions. So and in our district, you can enjoy our technical sessions, which is on monthly basis. And also, if you want to know more about the district, you can visit our website, icanamuwo.org. That is our website, www.icanamuwo.org. You are welcome anytime. So for the next webinar, we have a means of communicating this through our flyers and through emails and other medium that will communicate to members for our webinars. So usually we hold the webinar consistently on every last Saturday of the month. So usually from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. So our membership is open. You can join us. And as you join us, you enjoy networking with professionals. You enjoy our technical session. You also earn your MCPD as you attend our monthly general meetings. So I want to thank our speakers for today. Mr. Peter Adebayo, thank you very much. And Mrs. Odeyemi, we really appreciate you. It was the time we have spent with you. I want to be sure it's not a waste. So everybody enjoy it. And for the technical committee who have put this together, I want to appreciate every one of us. Special thanks to Mr. Chuks Agomo, who have always been our point man over this period. We really appreciate you. Thanks to the chairman of the district, Mrs. Ruth Igwe, FCA. We appreciate you for the unflinching support all the time, and for the ESCO for creating the enabling environment. We appreciate every one of you. I want to appreciate all the attendees and the participants. We look forward to see you some other time. We are proud of you. We love you as our members, and we will always bring this webinar to you for you to enhance your knowledge and also earn your MCPD. So the slides will be shared maybe in a couple of days for all the paid participants. We will share the slides to you on your email that you have provided. So if for any reason you did not receive it, get in touch with me. On the flyer in circulation, you can always capture my identity there. My WhatsApp number is there. You can also give a call to me. I will share the slide with you. So you will also benefit from the notice of our subsequent meetings and our webinars. So I want to appreciate every one of us for coming. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Olanipekun. Thanks for your vote of thanks and information relating to the district. District Chairman, over to you to recognize Mr. Kamoru and, your closing remarks afterwards.
Thank you so much. I want to recognize the presence of our revered past president, Alhaji Razak Jayola. Thank you for always identifying with us and our programs. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir, for also coming. The past chairman, Ikeja District Society, actually we communicated yesterday. Sorry if I didn't put Alaji because I don't know if you're an Alaji. Mr. Kamoru Amodu, thank you so much for identifying with us also. God, thank you for coming online. And all the elders on the call, I really appreciate every one of you for coming on board. Thank you, my presenters. I'm so glad to have you, Mr. Peter Adebayo, FCA, and my dear sister, Queen Adebola Adeyemi. You're welcome, my sister. I am so grateful for all present here. No Swan, only Swan. So I am so happy for having all of you. Thank you so much. And I believe the time we spent was not wasted at all because I also benefited and I'm also going to learn more. So please, your phones should be on because we're going to call for other explanation behind the scene. Thank you so much. I appreciate every one of us on this call and hope to see you in other webinars as time goes on. Thank you so much and do enjoy your weekend and please take rest. Thank you. Bye from me.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Mr. Amodu, we can hear you now, Mr. Amodu.
Yes, I really appreciate our past president, Azak Jayola, for being on this program. I appreciate the district chairman and everyone that attended this program. It's been very educative. God bless you all. Please come again next time if Amuwo district invites you for their seminars. God bless you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your words of encouragement. So this is officially bringing the program to an end. Just a little information for us all. For those that have paid on this call, your MCPD credit hours will be credited to you in the course of the week. The program attracts 5 MCPD hours. So the collation and the registration, will be onboarded onto ICAN. So you should expect that in your credit hours compilation before the end of the week. If you don't, please reach out to the organizers through the contact details that they've shared on the flyer, and that will be effected. The recording as well as the resource materials as approved by the resource persons will be shared with all registered participants as well. And that should happen in the course of the week. And, you take your time to listen to it over again and you have the contact details. If you have other questions, I'm sure you can reach out to the resource persons. If you don't get through, feel free to reach out to the district and we will do the honors of assisting to, reach out to them, to get your desired response. So we will now take the closing prayer, which is going to be the second stanza of our national anthem. You can follow me as I read it along. O God of creation, direct our noble course, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true, great lofty heights attained, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Amen. So can we have the national, the ICAN anthem? Chairman.
ICAN anthem, please.
Madam Chairman. Thank you. The national anthem. Okay, thank you, everyone. It's nice having you, and do have a productive, restful weekend until we come to your timeline again with another resource impactful program. It's bye from me and to us all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy day to everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, my chairman. Thank you, the technical secretary, the coordinator, the ESCO members. On behalf of myself and Mrs. Ademi, I want to say thank you for the privilege you have accorded us. And we believe by God's grace that it will be a better relationship moving ahead. We pray that ICAN Amuwo will continue to grow in leaps and bounds. We are not taking anything for granted. We are saying thank you so much and warm regards. God bless you, my chairman. God bless the ESCO, and God bless the entire members.
Thank you.
Thank you, my chairman. This is Igwe.
Yes, sir.
That was very commendable.
Thank you, sir.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank
And
you.
please just keep the flag flying. We are on the very right trajectory. And God continue to lift the business higher and higher.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir.
My regards to your team members.